Hello, this is fourth grade. We're excited to tell you all about the things we'll learn this year. This is an overview from the Department of Education that you will get at conferences so that you have a reference of what we'll be learning this year.
Hi parents, my name is Miss Chavez and I'm going to be talking to you about what we're going to be doing this year in literacy. For reading, we use the Benchmarks Readers Workshop that come with these lovely mentor texts. They look like magazines. These texts are all on the fourth grade level and students can use them to write notes. At the end of each unit, these mentor texts will go home and we would really appreciate it if you guys can read these texts with your kids at home. These mentor texts will help students write summaries, identify the theme of a text, compare and contrast two similar texts, identify the main idea with supporting details, and along the way, they're going to be learning new vocabulary. For writing, we have three different types of writing in fourth grade. We have explanatory essays where they are giving information, argumentative essays where they're giving their opinion with supporting reasons, and narratives. We have personal, imaginative, where they're telling stories. Last, in morphology, students study common Greek and Latin roots. With this, they learn less common spelling patterns, and we also study prefixes and suffixes. We would love it if you guys will read, if these students will read at home at least about 20 to 30 minutes at night, and they talk with somebody about their reading. Thank you.
Hello, it's Miss McCartney, and I will be telling you about math this year. We use a system called illustrative mathematics, along with several other supplements. We have three main categories: whole numbers, where we add, subtract, multiply, and divide. We have some examples there on the slide. Then we move into fractions. Fractions, we add and subtract, we compare them, we find equivalent fractions, and then we convert from fractions to decimals. To end it on the final column, we have geometry and measurement. In geometry, we draw, identify lines, shapes, and angles. And in measurement, we are doing conversions. So that can be grams, pounds and ounces, meters, kilometers, miles, liters, and then hours, seconds, and minutes. At home, it would be great if you could help your student work on mastering their multiplication facts, along with when you are cooking, you could talk about the fractions and the measurement skills there.
Hi, this is Miss Norton. In science, in fourth grade, we use Mystery Science, Generation Genius, and Gizmos to provide opportunities for students to explore natural phenomena and run trial simulations to test our predictions about how things work. We cover three strands in science: physical science, earth science, and life science. We learn about the transfer of energy, how that happens through collisions. We also explore the relationships between the speed of an object and the energy in that object. We learn how to describe patterns in waves in terms of amplitude and wavelength and show how waves can cause objects to move. Our last thing is learning a relationship between the internal and external structures in living organisms. At home, you can help your student by asking why questions about the world around you. You could also encourage observations of things like weather, animal behaviors, and how things work. One final thing you could do to help at home is to read nonfiction books together with your learner.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Carter, and I'm going to talk about social studies. In social studies this year, we don't have an adopted curriculum because it is integrated within our benchmark reading curriculum. These are the major concepts that we will cover this year. We're going to learn to explain the rights and responsibilities citizens have according to important documents. We are going to explain the responsibilities government officials have at both the state and federal levels. We're going to describe global connections created through increased trade, transportation, communication, and technology. We will examine why individuals and groups during the same historical period had different perspectives. We will explain the meaning and effects of supply and demand, inflation, deflation, and unemployment. And we will also create and examine maps. Some things you can do at home with your child to help extend the learning is to talk about maps when you travel. Discuss current events in kid-friendly language. Point out landmarks and state symbols. Watch kid-friendly documentaries, historical shows, or short YouTube clips together and discuss. Read biographies, historical fiction, and nonfiction books, and explore museums if you're able. It's going to be a great year.